Just a few parcels that sold over the weekend. These are all going through Royal Mail. They come and collect it, so that's why these are here. But all the other ones are in the car, ready to go. Yeah, it's been a busy weekend.
Morning, people. It's Monday morning, and yes, as you can see, there is a lot of parcels. Two big IKEA bags full of parcels going to Yodel. I've decided the majority of stuff now is going with Yodel. It's the cheapest. It gets tracked with it as well within the price. Royal Mail just seems to be more expensive on every parcel except for the certain weight category, which is like over 2 kgs and stuff like that. So the ones in the house, they are with Royal Mail because they're a little bit heavier. I have sold over 30 items in a weekend. That's just a weekend. eBay is back. So I'm going to drop these off. Then when I get home, I'm going to tell you what sold over the weekend, tell you how much I've made, and also tell you what I've sold over the whole of the week, you know, in totals and all that lot. Like I said, eBay is back, finally, after 2 weeks. Let's go. Parcels dropped off. I just came to Home Bargains because obviously there's 3 months, I think exactly, until I go to Tenerife with my son. And still I am putting off the gym. It's been a month since I've signed up to the gym back up, you know, to where I used to go. Been twice. Reason being, too busy, you know, and then I'm tired, blah, 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 blah. Excuses. But I've just been in there and bought some of these. I've had them before. These are Battle Bites. Yeah, Battle Bites. And trust me, if you're thinking about getting into the gym, building muscle, you need protein. This is not anything to do with reselling. Just a little tip. If you want to build muscle, you need to have enough protein in your body to build muscle. So the rule is, if you want to build muscle, you've got to eat at least the same amount of protein as body weight. Not in, obviously, what it sounds like. It's very simple. Some people get confused about this. Right. So if you're 200 pounds body weight, you've got to eat the equivalent of that in protein, in grams. So for instance, this bar contains 18 grams of protein. So that's 18 grams off the 200 pounds. And it's very simple. Like a big piece of chicken, you're looking between 20 to 30, all the little bits and bobs. So I always say, it's not hard to eat your protein. Get it in, because if you're thinking about building muscle and you're eating hardly no protein, you're not gonna build muscle, because you need that protein to build muscle. It is the main staple thing to build muscle. Okay, so if you don't eat enough protein, you're not gonna build enough muscle. Simple. And stuff like this, which are very nice, I've just tried out. It's like a chocolate bar, so if you're like me, got a bit of a sugar crave, these are quite good. There's hardly no sugar in 2 grams of sugar, and they taste really nice. Also, your shakes and stuff, you can do a big shake and get 50 grams of protein in one shake. So it's simple to do. Four big meals a day. Obviously eat all your chicken, your turkey, low fat mince, 5% or under, because you don't want to eat the fatty stuff, because obviously if you're working out and trying to build muscle, the only way your muscle is going to show is if you get rid of your fat. So, little tip, I will be getting some more gym things into my reselling over the next 3 months, because obviously it's just gonna just a little sample of my lifestyle as well. But yeah, get these. They are really nice. I mean, really, really nice. But back home now, let's show you what I've sold.
We are back home. Yes, all the stuff from the last video is still there. You gotta remember, I do videos every single day. For me to do YouTube videos every day, to parceling, obviously listing, going around picking, it's a lot of work for me to do. So yesterday I was just not listing anything. I had a day off. I chilled out, you know, sorting out parcels, actually doing some parcels because I don't do most of the wrapping. And yeah, being pretty busy. Like I said, eBay is back, and I'm not going to go through every single listing like I've done in the past. I'm not going to do that anymore because it's boring. The videos seem to go on, and even when I watch other YouTubers go through what they've sold, I just feel like it's boring. I turn off after 5 minutes, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to like basically tell the highlights, what sold, some of the things that I find special to me, maybe either through because of they're just cool, or maybe because they fetch a good price, and some things that I'm not going to buy again because they just don't fetch much money or they just lag around. Doing these videos to help you guys know what to pick up, what not to pick up, through my own mistakes, from just picking stuff, stuff I've never picked before. eBay has still been pretty poor. Even though I've done a lot of sales this week, it's still pretty poor. It was only probably the last 2 days that really has been massive. I mean, literally the 2 last days, Saturday and Sunday, was huge, but most of the other ones was trickling along. I had a good day midweek, but that wasn't anything to do with eBay. That was to do with Vinted. So I got my book where I write down all my sales, the profits, and how many I've sold in a day, and so on and so on. eBay seems to come out of its slump. It seems to be getting a bit better. I haven't done anything different. So I haven't changed any postage things. I haven't changed any prices. I've done some auctions just to get rid of some of my old stuff that's been lagging around, and some of the stuff that's... I test the water. I put a few wheelchairs on there just to see. And yeah, some of it's worked. So I'm going to go through Monday to obviously Sunday and tell you if there's anything decent I sold on there. On Monday, 3 sales, literally 3 sales, and eBay was still rubbish. Only 2 sales on eBay, 1 on Vinted. The biggest one was the dartboard, which I sold on eBay, and that was for £22.50. So not really much, in profit. That was a good profit, but the other ones was really not. I sold a Wii game, and yeah, a little Hey Dougie car on Vinted. So really pointless, really bad day. Tuesday was a bit better with 5 sales, but 3 of them were Vinted. So again, if it wasn't for Vinted on this day, I would have probably made just over £15 on eBay in profit. Absolutely shocking. I sold the Lewis Hamilton hat for 30 quid, making a £28 profit, which was the best sale of that day. And I sold a Godzilla toy and made 13 quid profit. But all the rest were really poor. I sold the Care Bear, which I paid 50p for, and I sold it $14.99 on eBay, which was the best sell on eBay. But I made 66 quid on that day from 6 sales. So just over 10 quid item, still very poor. I'm looking around to make around £100 plus per day in profit. So if you think about that, that's like 700 quid in a week. That's what I want to make. If I make around £500 plus, then I'm happy, because £500 a week is still a very good wage. So, like I say, I'm not like a full-time person. I work when I want to work. I want a social life. I want to chill out and relax. I don't think you need to work day in, day out to make loads of money. And also, working all them long hours doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make more money, because if it doesn't sell or you don't pick up the right stuff, what's the point of working? You're just using loads of hours doing nothing, and yeah, it's not going anywhere. Anyway, on to Wednesday. We had 5 sales again. 2 on Vinted, 3 on eBay. So Vinted is still like getting them sales in as well, helping me out. But every single one of these sales was like tiny, nothing over £5 in profit. So I only made £13.84. I'm honest. I'm not like other people you see on YouTube who make out like they make lots of money or they only show the good stuff. I'm going to tell you the truth, what reselling is like. Don't listen to anybody in my comments to try and make out they make loads of money and that, because they can't prove it. Don't listen to them, because if they are realistically proper resellers, you have your good days, you have your bad days. Some days you will make lots of money, other days you will make hardly none. And you'll see this week what I'm on about. On Thursday, this was a good day. So I sold only 1 on Vinted and 4 on eBay. So eBay's slowly starting to come up. I sold that other dartboard, which I made £21 off in profit. I sold a freebie off that little can opener thing. I sold A to Z book, which went to America, paid £5, making a £16 profit because it sold for £24.99. But the best sale was Vinted again, and it was leather trousers, what I bought at the car boot for £15, I think 2 weeks ago. They sold for £65 and I made £50 profit. So there again, even though eBay's selling more, they're not selling the things that I want. People are going on Vinted to buy stuff like this over eBay, right? They were the same price. There was no different on this one to eBay. eBay and Vinted, I put all the same prices on now because I feel like it doesn't matter what your thing is you're selling on eBay or Vinted. If somebody likes going on Vinted, they'll pay that price if it's quality, and somebody did. I made £95 in profit on that day from 5 sales, so that is good. 5 sales, £95 is very good return. Coming on to Friday, another 5 sales and another bad day. No Vinted, and this just shows that eBay just are trickling out all the rubbish. I did sell a lot of like old stock, which I'm glad about because I was going to get rid of it all for £1. All the old stuff, I don't care. I want to make my money back, or because most of the stuff I do buy for £1 or whatever. Just get rid of it, get my money back, maybe make £1 on some things because it's dead stock, rubbish stuff, some things I never should have bought. And yeah, the only thing that was good in this is I sold one of them Terminators, the dog grooming things, which I'm not expecting big profits from because they only sell for £12.99. But remember, I only bought the whole load of them for £15. So I only need to sell one more and then all the rest are free. Sold some micro machines. I am now like free of any sort of micro machines. They're paid for. So everything now is pure profit. I sold a fire and rescue bundle for £12. I also sold another board game in the board game, that board game bundle. It's only £2.50 profit, but it's all adding up. If I told you how much I've made off that, you wouldn't probably be thinking, haha, £2.50 when I tell you how much I've actually made. But I'm only going to tell you that when I've actually pretty much sold them all. Also, from the Micro Machines bundle, I got a few Star Wars things in there. One was a couple of things with Tonka. Sold that as well for £14.99, giving me a £13.24 profit. The reason being, I'm classing all these as free in the Micro Machines, except for the big lots. I've got about 3 big lots which are selling for £120 each. That's how much they sell for because they're big bundles of military figures and Micro Machines. So when one of them sells, I'm going to deduct the £22.50 what I paid for the whole lot of the Micro Machines, and that will come off. All the others will be free because I don't want to. What's the point of splitting them up, and what's the point of taking them off like that when I can just do it off one of the big ones? On that day, I only made £36. Not very good. But then, look at that for Saturday and Sunday. Crazy amount. So, on Saturday, I made 13 sales, which is a lot. But still, bits and bobs. Some good sales, but a lot of it's bits and bobs. Remember these micro machines, except for the big ones, they don't really sell for much, but you got to remember, these are all free. So I'm making pure profit. I sold a bundle of military ones. These are the bits and bobs after the big bundles. Sold that for 30 quid. I sold another bundle of just bundle cars and bits and bobs for 20 quid. And then I sold a Captain Scarlet little toy plane for $6.99, making me a fiver because I only paid 50p. I did make a loss on something, which were these Piccolino white shoes. They're worth about 30-40 quid. I put them on auction for $9.99, thinking they might get around the 25 quid mark. They didn't. They only sold for $9.99. So I actually lost £1.72. I'm not going to buy them again. I think it was because they're white. I sold the Palm Angels on auction as well, the tracksuit bottoms, which, if you know, they are very expensive. I sold them for $39.99. I paid a tenner for them, so still a good profit. I sold another Micro Machines bundle. These are monster trucks. Sold them for £20. So I made a £17.28 profit. And the rest are just bits and bobs, you know, like old stock, old t-shirts. An old camera sold for like $1.99. I made 51p. So after that day, all them sales, I made £113 profit. The final day, Sunday, was my best day. 11 sales, but I made a lot more money. I sold the tanks. I bought a couple of tanks in a charity shop for £8.50. There was some damage to them, so I couldn't ask for full price. They're literally about 40 quid a tank, but I only sold them for £32.50. I still made £20 profit. Sold another comic where I'm making about £2.50 each comic. Sold a jigsaw puzzle and making another £2.50. That's part of the bundle. Cordless phones. You know, your handsets, what you use for your house phones and all that lot. I am not bothering with them anymore unless they are sealed, boxed, and never been opened. People do not like buying ones that are already open. This was boxed. It has been unused, but it had been opened. Just people do not want to buy them anymore. I also sold a vintage Whack Attack. Picked it up for 2 quid. Sold it for 17 quid, making a nice little profit. One of my auction sales was a Remploy wheelchair. The thing is, I packed this up, I did it all, and then I went to get the sticker, obviously, to print it out and see where it's going. Found out it's in the same area as I live in. So I rang the person up saying, do you want me to drop it off? They said, yeah, if you want to. So I actually made a bit more money. I actually made less of a profit on it than it's worth, because it's probably worth about 60 quid. But because I didn't post it, I saved myself 12 quid, because that's how much I charge, because the prices have gone up now. And I made 34 quid off it, which is still good. You know, I did pay 15 quid for it, which was quite pricey for me. You know, I don't really like paying 15 quid for a wheelchair, especially the ones with small wheels, because that was this one. Also, I spent 30 quid on some bowling balls, and I sold them on auction for 79 and 99. They are worth probably around the 100 quid mark. I thought they would have had a bidding war. There was a lot of watches on there, but no one just bid after that one bid. I made £39 profit. Also, I sold some motorbike gloves. They were brand new, picked them up in the shop for 3 quid. Sold them on Vinted for 25 quid, £22 profit. And then one of my brand new Bing pageant, which I bought from the same shop, the charity shop, Bought all loads of them, if £3 each. Sold one for 10 quid, making £7 profit. On that day, I made £170 profit. So in total last week, I did 47 sales, making £530 and 50p profit, which is what I'm used to having. So even though I had a lot of dribs and drabs in them sales this week, I had a lot of good sales to make up the profit. I had some big sales, and that's when you see me arguing or answering back to these people in the comments. It's not because it's my personality. I'm argumentative, because I'll just stick up for myself because I know what I'm doing, right? I know what I'm selling. I know what's happening on my own eBay. And when people start like talking to me like they know my eBay better than myself, they know what I do better than myself, you know, trying to tell me how to run my own store, and there's no reason why it should change because it was perfectly fine all the rest of the year, I have to say something back, because it's just, you don't know what you're on about. As you saw from last week, I'm back to normal. A lot of sales, decent profit, and they from little bits and bobs. You know, I've got so much more, as you can see, I'm going to be selling. And a lot of the stuff is, you know, bits and bobs, you know, quick sellers, stuff that will sell for little amounts, but also stuff that can sell for a big amount. I like to keep it for everybody. So people are struggling with money, they can buy something from my shop for quite cheap. Collectors, you know, from toys, you know, whatever they want. Also wheelchairs, people that can't get out, they can buy a wheelchair or walk off me. The reason I buy everything at different prices, it's versatile for anybody. For people who ain't got much money, to people who've got a lot of money. People that can't get out, people who are collectibles, people who like sport, people who like fashion. Anything that you fancy, I might have on the store. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, obviously hit that thumbs up. Let me know if you have been struggling with eBay or your store's gone back to normal as well, or it's still poor, in the comments, and I'll see you again with another video.